crazy. It go crazy. It go crazy. Go, 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 go crazy. Go, 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 go crazy. Go, go, go crazy. All the way from the old to go crazy like a dum-dum. East side homeboy, where I come from. Dance on the floor till you go numb. No fighting, no hating, no red rum. This is OOO City. All the way to the bay, hit the bass, feel me. Catch a case cause it's beating up yo Chevy. Get you moving side to side, getting all sweaty. Make you work it out. Turn the volume up loud. It's a draw crowd, make it all shout. Go crazy. All the way from the O to LA. Hit play on the track and now I'm ready. Like a quarterback, Tom Brady. Catch you all in the frenzy. Go crazy. Go crazy. Go crazy. All the way from the O to LA. Go crazy. Go crazy. Go crazy. All the way from the O to LA. Go crazy. Go crazy. Go crazy. All the way from the O to LA. Go crazy. Go crazy. Go crazy. All the way from the O to LA.
What's up? What's up? What is going on, Scoop Nation? It is 8:03. Hey, 8:03 with one to spare on them. Yes. And it is time for the show. We are so glad that you have decided to tag on in. Come on in this room on this evening, on this fine Tuesday, and have a little conversation, share a couple giggles, maybe exercise a different side of your brain. Just hang out with your people on this Tuesday. So welcome. We are so glad that you decided to tune in. If you are new here, we hope that you are already settling in. If you would please, in our comment section, first of all, get real comfy there because we will. Hey, sis. Yes, ma'am. Welcome, baby. Welcome. Oh, my goodness. If you are new to the show, we hope that you are feeling welcome, and we invite you to please drop in the comment section where you are tuning in from. We like to know just how far this here conversation is reaching on a week-to-week basis. So no matter if you are tuning in live, hey, or you are watching the replay, hey, sugars, go ahead and drop that in the comment section and let us know where you are tuning in from. And if you would please hit that share button so your mama and them, your cousin them, everybody knows where you'll be for the next little bit. Okay. Aside from that, we would love for you to join us all over because we like to take our internet hiatus. We get put in Facebook jail. We lose logins and passwords and all those things. So we don't ever want you to miss the scoop, okay? And to do that, we want to make sure that you get tuned in everywhere. So you can do that by following us on all the social media places, like YouTube at The Scoop Show. You can follow us on Facebook at Real Scoop Show and on Instagram at Scoop Radio Show, okay? So you never miss a show. You can get notified, turn the little bells on, hit the check marks, the thumbs, follow us.
All of that.
Be notified about the people, okay? About the scoop. But aside from that, we want you to get comfy and enjoy the show. What's up, bro? How you doing?
I'm good. Got ready for these interesting topics.
Yes.
So, I'm good. I can't complain at all. How about you?
I'm good. It's been a good day. Got a lot of work done today. Tuesday. This was a highly productive Tuesday, but I'll take it.
Yeah. I don't think I got anything done.
Your replay of your day was, that's frustrating.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's all good. It's all good. It was good, So, but yeah, I'm ready for this show. We got a lot of good stuff to talk about.
We do. We do.
Yeah. So real quick, let me say what's up to everybody. What's up, man? Thomas? What's going on? DFW in the house. We said we got UConn, OKC, DMV. We got Tulsa. I see y'all. I see.
Town?
Yeah, I see y'all. I see y'all.
Felt like a Thursday. We do get a lot done on Thursdays. I would agree with that.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't say it did not feel like a Thursday over here.
It felt like a Monday for Win today, like a very bad Monday.
Yeah, but it's all good. It's all good. So, all right. Let's see. Let's go ahead and jump into these topics. Yeah, again, as Q said, y'all please, if you have not hit the share button, hit the share button. If you have not invited your friend, be like our good friend Ebony and tag somebody.
Tag them in.
Latoya, I appreciate that. So I would definitely appreciate that. Yeah, tag somebody or hit the share button and let them know that we are about to get started. All right, I see you, Spencer. Okay, Spencer.
Mm-hmm.
Spencer, all right, listen, I ain't seen no Chicago yet. We got to work on this. Hold on.
Get your people now. Get your people now. Our city is repping. Get the people.
Tag some folk. Hold on.
Oklahoma's in the house.
Ooh, what about that? I mean, y'all all right now. Damn. Showed up deep tonight. Okay, I got you. All right, let's jump into these hot topics. So y'all stay around. Of course, y'all know, like she said, make sure you all comment all night long. We need your comments. We need your input. So let's jump in real quick before we get started on hot topics. Of course, hot topics are brought to you by Bob Shamrock. Bob Shamrock gas station, 2901 Northwest 10th Street in Oklahoma City, where you can pull up and fill up your car, fill up your gas tank, and fill up your stomach. So go over there. This is owned by, of course, our very own Kels Johnson. So y'all go over to Bob Shamrock, right across from the fairgrounds, 2901 Northwest 10th Street, and fill up. All right, Q, you got it.
All right. So this week's hot topic. First up. This was my post. Y'all have to no, actually no. Y'all was gonna say excuse my commentary, but don't. I said what I said. Go ahead, you can post this one. Let's pull it up. Oh, good. My commentary didn't get posted here. Okay, my comment was the part I was talking about. All right. So this was shared. I'm the one who shared this to the group. Because I saw it in another page and I thought, what the what? Men who date big girls. Are you struggling with low self-esteem or just struggling financially? I did not like this post personally. And I say this because it's very assumptive. And I thought the person, my comment was what was the commentary for this post? Wasn't there some additional words for this? I think he set it up a little bit different, but anyway, it's not that big deal. If it's not on there, I'm gonna move on. But I did not like this particular subject because I think it's very assumptive and it's assuming that all big girls are trying to, like they are the lower on the totem pole, Girl, plus size girls is out here winning, okay? Like winning. So I did not like the way that this was set up. In the post, we had some mixed reviews on this one, but I overall did not like the setup for this post. And we had quite a bit of commentary surrounding this thought process when it comes to larger people in general. Because I think big dudes, y'all are popular right now, but it's y'all get some flack every now and again. But not like plus size women do. Not like plus size women do.
Not at all. Big guys are winning.
Yes, they are. Yeah. What did you think about this? And what did you take away from the commentary on the post?
So about the original post, I thought if Mr. Mark Richard wrote this, he's dumb. I thought that was absolutely dumb. I don't think that, that just because you date a big girl that you have low self-esteem or you're struggling financially. I think that you could just have a preference for big girls. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with it all. As a matter of fact, I think I'm more concerned about guys who actually like big girls and pretend like they don't because they're concerned about what people what the public is going to have to say about them. But I'm actually for it, you know. So do what you do. I think you are supposed to love the size person who you love, and to assume that a person is either struggling financially or has low self-esteem really says something about the person who thinks that more than it does about the actual man who wants to date a big woman. So, like a big woman, date her.
Yep. And I'm sorry, all of my thick sisters are not out here just paying for things and like accepting any. I don't know what is happening with it. Like I don't get it. I think there is low self-esteem in every space because it's there's somebody that's gonna fit whatever hole you're trying to place them in. But this, by and large, is a stereotype that really needs to go away. It really needs to go away. Like, because it's not. It doesn't apply anymore.
Yeah.
Plus size chicks is winning. I'm here for it.
I think again, like who you like, love who you love,
yes. Love who you love. Yes.
And if that's what you want is a big woman, get you a big woman.
Yes.
I will tell you this though. You get you a big woman, you better be ready. Woo!
Okay. I'm laughing at Evan and she said she's trying to get there.
It depends on like to me. So I'm looking when I say big, I mean like the proverbial, you know, like in this day, anything over like an 8 is considered big. You know, it's considered plus size. So I'm like, listen, the thickness will bless your life, brother.
Bless your whole life. Bless your whole life.
Ain't nothing wrong with, you know, if you like, listen, just saying.
Yeah.
Don't deny yourself what you like, brother.
Be the best thing for you.
I'm gonna leave it at that.
They roll them next.
You'll be up there talking about where have you been all my life? So and actually I'm just gonna leave it. I ain't gonna talk about the big brothers, but anyway.
We're gonna stay focused tonight.
We're gonna move on. We're gonna stay on.
We're gonna try.
We're gonna talk about your boy here.
Okay, so we're gonna bring up Dr. Umar, and you know we got mixed feelings about Dr. Umar around here, brother Umar. I don't even know. I'm not gonna call him Dr. Umar. No, that's brother Umar.
You gotta go with this doctor.
I ain't gonna be able to do it.
He said he got 6 degrees. Get that man his degree.
Brother Umar. And I can't even read anyway. So yeah, Joseph brought us this. Joseph Brown, who is one of our long-term Scoop members, one of our favorite Scoop members. He's definitely one of our conversation starters. Shared a video. This is actually a clip from a video where he is discussing the Derek Chauvin verdict and how, you know, we're all excited about it and all of that, but he was pretty much explaining how it is not really the win that we think it is. Like he went into explaining how and I should have watched this one more time before we got in here, but it was more about the whole system and how we're not flipping. What are you laughing at, Win? Because I'm
Shanae's comment.
Girl, stop it. I'm already struggling trying to get my little synopsis out because it's been a couple days since she Brother Umar was actually speaking a little facts on this video is what I'm going to basically say. He summed up what we said on last week with this is not really being a win for us. It's not really justice. This is pretty much us playing into a game. This is what it is. And after listening to it, I did not listen to the whole clip. I know it was like 3 minutes. Full disclosure.
Make it 3 minutes. Huh?
I couldn't. Even though I agree with him, I was like, yeah, okay, yeah. That's what we said. Okay. I agree. Because if you listen too long, you're gonna find something that's gonna be like, now see, damn it, I was with you, and then here we got to go left. So I gave him until I could agree, and I'm gonna move on with my life. So I could like the little post to be confident in my life. But yeah, he I think he was on point. What did you think about this video?
So let me say, it's that I don't say this very often. I actually agreed with brother Dr. Umar. He said this wasn't a win. This wasn't a win for justice for Black people. What this was the system giving this to Black people so they wouldn't burn down Minneapolis like they did. He compared it to OJ getting off after what happened with my mind went blank. The gentleman who got
Rodney King.
Rodney King, thank you, Rodney King. So since LA we're still recovering, they let OJ off, and since Minneapolis is still recovering and trying to rebuild, they let Derek Chauvin. I gotta agree with him.
I do, yeah. Thank you for that better synopsis than what I did. Yeah.
I think I was more floored than I agreed. I listened to the whole interview. And again, like I said in the post, I was so mad. Not mad, but I was like, I agree with like 80% of what he said. That's I had to go back and take my temperature and everything. Like, make sure I wasn't sick.
Because he was on point. Because it was a matter of we cannot afford to have the riots that would have broken out across this country. Not in that state, not in this country. There were cities across the country prepared to go in.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I'm not I do agree, like I said, that this was not a win. Obviously we saw it wasn't a win because the next day, or the same day, we had what happened with Jesus, I keep forgetting the name. Ma'Khia Bryant in Columbus. So it was like this isn't anything that's changing. He also compared it to, he said, and what he did was he reminded us, he said that, listen, if you think that the system has changed, how is it that after he called it the few incidents of violence that we've seen against AAPI brothers and sisters, they actually, and we talked about this before, have actual laws on the books now saying that if you kill someone in that community, that there's going to be, I think they said it's going to be a hate crime, whereas Black Americans in this country have been dealing with this same stuff for 400 years, and there's still nothing on the books for us. So I can absolutely agree with him with that point. Wade says he was wrong about her though.
About who?
About Ma'Khia Bryant. Yeah, we talked about that last week. I'm not gonna go on that. So yeah, but so I agreed. I wasn't prepared to agree. Let me just say that.
Yeah, it's rare.
I wasn't prepared to agree with him. I was cool with him. Yeah, I was cool. I thought I do think that that one of the things that I hope that we don't do is I hope that we don't and I'm starting to see it, that we don't let, like during the election cycle, our foot was on the gas. We were full go, 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 go. We want our rights. We want this. We want that. We want this. We had Ice Cube come out with his plan. We got this people coming out with their plan. And all of a sudden, it seems like right now we are very silent.
Yep.
And we're not doing anything. And we might be, and we might just be moving in silence, which is fine if we're doing that, but we need to be moving. So I just don't want to see us as a community get lackadaisical or lethargic, that because we have Joe Biden and VP Harris in the White House, that now all of a sudden that our issues are going to be taken care of and listened to and all of that stuff. When, just like he said, they got a whole AAPI position, a whole czar, and and then he did in this segment also call out the council, Caucus. Come on. Almost called him the Negro Caucus, but I think that's what he called it, to Congressional Black Caucus.
Okay.
And said, listen, called them out. Like, what are you all doing?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
I think in a way the country has gotten quiet. Black folks in the country, and no, not the country in general, because like you said, we've already passed laws for the AAPI. However, I think it's like, okay, we're not dealing with that in your face. It's so crazy what's happening today. It's almost like there's a collective chill that has fallen over the country, but that's in a way what they wanted. You know what I mean? They're like, we'll give them this so they'll calm down so we can do it all over again. You know what I mean? So I completely agree. It's time for us. We must not relax to the point where we do not get anything. We don't need to relax at all. This is the dig in. This is the press in time. This is lean in. Absolutely. Yeah. And I agree. The moving in silence is fine, but yeah. Move.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the idea of moving in silence, to be honest. Just move.
Look, send us a pigeon so we
because I don't know where we're going. I'd like to know, but right. Are
we over there? Okay, we won't tell nobody. All right, that's cool. I got it. But we need to be doing something.
I'll be there. Mm-hmm.
I'm there for it. Let's see a couple comments. Shanae says, when the verdict came out, people started sharing posts saying, "All right, let me take off my riot clothes."
I believe it. Yeah.
Mike says the power lies in the community. If people centralize, then they can control laws in that area and at a state level. Let me say something to that. I agree with that, Mike. I agree that there's real power in that. Here is my pushback, but my thing is with us. We consistently do that. And then we've done that and do that, and then they consistently move the marker to make it more difficult or to make things happen that we're not supposed to. We can go all the way back to looking at something like the Freedmen's Bureau after post-slavery. We can go back to looking at communities like Black Wall Street in Tulsa. We can go and look at communities like Rosewood. We can go back and look at communities in the Carolinas that were like this. And every time we did something or we do something to come together, there is something else that's put there to block us. So at some point, it's not, we do need to come together as a people, but we also need to come together. We also need to say, listen, that it's crap that you all keep putting stuff in our way that we have to consistently jump over in order to be able to stay together as a people. Because now we've got voting rights laws coming up in multiple states that are now going to make it more difficult for one of the largest populations of Black people in this country to vote. And that was only done because we came together. So we're coming together. I just think we just have to, yes, we can do better. Yes, we can do it more, but I think that we still have to honor the fact that when we do, the system gets angry and the system likes to burn our stuff down and do other things to make it more difficult for us. I want to throw that out there. Dan says, Joe Biden is giving nothing. Kamala is already backpedaling. Those two together put more Blacks in jail and broke up more Black families than the previous administration ever could. We have to be honest about this. I'm not going to disagree with that. We know what the crime bill did, so I mean we can't lie about that.
Right, it's not a debate. It's time for them to get with it.
What are we asking? What are the people asking for, and who do we have to have asking for us? Yeah, I mean, I think we have a lot of asks. Like, we have a lot of asks on the table. You know what I mean? Are they the right people? Who is the right person? I think it's part of the problem. Like, who is the right person to ask for us at this point? Like,
I actually, I've been asking that same question for a very long time. Like, every time we have one of these conversations about the Black vote and who speaks for us and, what do we do and all that other stuff, I'm like, what do we want? We can't come up with one thing that, you know, they're not a list. We've got one or two things that we can all come together, but like we even if we were to identify the person, we have to have a list that is one that we can all get behind. So when we go in there and have the moment to have the conversation and say, hey, this is what we want. Okay, they give it to us. Now we have to show up to get it done, or that we'll never be allowed back in that room. You know what I mean? Like, we don't understand how important that seat will be when we get there. We know that we should have been sitting there for a long time, but the fact that they haven't given us the table yet means something. When we get in there, we better have something to say, or it's going to be just that much longer before we get back in there to say it again. So yeah, we don't have a list. We don't have a person. We don't have any clue. We have a lot of complaints. So, like, we got to get better at that.
Yeah,
So,
we can do better. I'm not saying we can't get better.
Yeah.
But I will say, I think that we have done this. Like, we are asking. I mean, even if you go back, and I know he talked bad about this, the CPC, but I mean, even if you look at some of the work they've done, just tried to get accomplished, just around voting rights, or just around lynching law, or just around, you know, prisoner pipeline, like ending this prisoner pipeline. Like, there are specific things that they've done, but again, like, you got 50 people trying to take care of something that's affecting these millions of people, meaning in Congress and Senate, and that's just not enough. It's not.
Yeah. It's not. It's not.
That's why it's important that we learn the laws and how the system works. Again, that's
we know.
I'm not disagreeing with it. Yeah, I'm just saying again, they keep changing it, so we can't. Like, I think we have to also, like, you can't keep changing stuff, so we have to now relearn this whole new law that y'all created and changed just so we can make it harder. And then, to your point about who, we then have to stop tearing down the people who we get to stand up there for us. Because we don't find something wrong with every single person who we put up there. So we have to. So if this group of people are going to be the people that try to progress and move us forward, then we have to say, listen, we gotta ride with them and not tear them down as soon as we find out they smoke weed, or they, again, I'm not saying it's a good thing, but they got a side chick, or I mean, it's like, as soon as we find out whatever their thing is,
cancel.
All right, let's go. What's the next one? We could stay here for a while, so. Oh yeah, this is gonna be interesting.
Keep your hands to yourself. I know what this one is.
Yeah, this is interesting. Is this the right one?
Yes.
Go ahead.
All right. So this conversation is happening between two co-parents regarding the discipline of their child. So I'm assuming, excuse me. No, I'm not assuming. The dad is on the left. The mom is in green. Okay. So dad says, did you call me? Yes, I did. Is there a way me, you, and Gianna can meet up? About what? And why do you need my wife to be there? Our daughter told me that your wife spanked her. I wanted to make sure she understands not to touch my child. Nah, you're wrong. I said she could discipline my child just like I can discipline hers. Araya was fighting at school, so she was spanked. You don't have authority to tell my wife what she can and can't do. I don't care if she slapped the teacher. I don't want your wife whipping my child. She can ground her until I get there. Until I get her, then I will discipline her. You should have consulted with me before giving her permission. He laughs at her. Maya, I don't have to consult with you. She is both of ours, not just yours. My wife had permission. She tapped Araya a few times with her hand. That's it. She doesn't like discipline because you don't do it enough. I said what I said. This conversation is over. No, it's not over. No, it's not. If she touches my daughter again, I will touch her. Either you spank her or I will. No one else. I said what I said. Try me. Already tried you. Your threats won't work over here. Don't have me seek full custody. Again, when I have Araya, my wife can whoop her when she is bad. Bet. The bet heard round. Lord.
Whew. And every co-parent said, amen.
Ah, oh,
Woo.
there was a lot to digest in this exchange. A lot to digest here. There's obviously a lot of animosity still going on between them. There were some digs going back and forth. Yeah, it's a lot. I think he should have consulted her. I think they still should have a conversation about it prior to it happening. This seems to be the first time that the wife has disciplined the child this way, which is why she felt the need to go back and tell the mama, and now it's a thing. It seems, again, this is just 2 pages worth of text messages. So this is new. And if this was going to be something that he was going to authorize, I think either he could have done it like she suggested, like the mama suggested throughout the end, you discipline her if that's going to be, if it has to happen right now before you can talk to me about it, you discipline her and then we need to have the conversation. I think that is fair and respectful, regardless if you have a spouse with another, you moved on. And I believe that for the mom or the dad, because you did make that one child together. You might have a new home with this person, but you created this life together. So how that child is disciplined, overall raised, especially in this situation, looks like they're in same city back and forth. They should have a conversation about this. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to agree even, but I think they should have, he owed her that conversation prior to allowing her to discipline her that way. I think the way she tried to get that conversation out was a little bit much too. Like, that man ain't finna let you sit there and have to confront his wife and do all that extra. Like, that's not gonna happen. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't see that happening either. So this exchange was just cringy. It was very cringy, very cringy.
It was trash. Let's just call it what it was. It was trash.
Trash, yes, it was.
It was trash. As a co-parent, as a person who is co-parenting, that exchange was trash. And again, I think every co-parent, just about every co-parent, has had one of those conversations, and they're trash. Yeah, there was. So I agree. I agree with all of them. You know what I mean? Like, I agree that he should be able to discipline his child the way he sees fit in his home. I believe that I also believe it's fine that she has a problem with it, but it's not her house. She can't tell him how to discipline their child. I do think, out of the sake of honor and respect for the co-parenting relationship, and even, let me take it another step further, and to prevent what most likely this is, which is a child who is trying to play the system, to prevent that. That's why you have this conversation beforehand, so that way you both are on the same page. And this isn't a new thing that you are just realizing. They all should have known that, hey, this is how we disciplining him. And she could have still disagreed and said, no, I don't want your wife doing that. And he could have just said the same thing. It's my house. I'm gonna do how I want to discipline in my house. And when he or she is in your house, she can do what she needs to do, what you need to do in your house. So you can still do that and still honor the other person by having the discussion first. And again, doing what you can to make sure that the child cannot play the two of y'all by going back and be like, Mama, she beat me. Oh, she beat, because kids are dramatic. And when they see an opportunity, they're gonna take it. So
let's not do this, people.
Yeah, I think this is a great opportunity for them to say, listen, this is where we are, this is what's going on, And I don't even, I think if it was bad enough, if it's an incident or issue that's bad enough, then as a co-parent, you should just let the other co-parent know what's going on. So I don't know if her acting up in school was normal or new, or if this is a big thing or not. Just, hey, just a heads up. because I know in my situation, like the teachers communicate with both of us. So if something is going on, you should know. So this shouldn't be the first time you're hearing this. So
Right.
It's just my thought. I think like Dan said, communication is the foundation of everything. And so effective communication will get rid of and dismiss a whole lot of confusion. And this was not really good confusion.
It's also obvious that they don't have any relationship. This is his whole wife. And this child goes back and forth between these households on a probably bi-weekly, every 2 weeks or whatever basis, enough for them to be picking up and dropping off at school and all that. And there's not enough of a relationship with the mother of the child and the wife for her to feel comfortable enough where she does not need to confront this woman, have this whole mediation event around a couple taps after you are actually fighting. Like, the child should have been disciplined. You know what I'm saying? So like there should have been discipline. And I know some men who, even if that's their female child, they won't physically discipline their female children. You know what I mean? They just don't feel that that's what they're supposed to do. So that would be the responsibility of the wife in that household, if that is what this particular man feels. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, we got to do better as adults. The adults, everybody in this situation needs to do better. She should not feel like, oh, that woman shouldn't be touching my child. That woman is helping to raise your daughter. That's not a girlfriend. That is a wife. That's his wife. That wasn't your little girlfriend. That was his whole wife that we were discussing. Yep. So.
Yep. I've had this conversation. So anyway, I digress. I get for the mom in this, it's not comfortable. I even understand that. But again, like when you sign up to be in this type of scenario and this type of relationship, blended families are hard. But this is what comes with it. Like this is what comes with it.
And uncomfortable. You're not gonna be comfortable with everything about it.
Yeah. And as the new parent coming in, like you have to navigate that with some skill and a whole lot of grace, because there's going to be a lot of times when you probably want to tap that behind or say something that you got to let it go because y'all don't have that kind of relationship with it. Like it's a tough situation that to be in. But again, when you sign up for it, this is what comes with it. Mm-hmm. So let me go to these comments. Mike says, this is a real issue for so many parents. Yes, all 4 parents are in the kid's life, so all parents should have the ability to discipline. Yeah.
Yep.
Deanna says, that's true. He should have asked. Dan says, I think, as it is often, people forget about the subject at hand, the child. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Shanae says, I don't understand why they didn't let the mom know. I don't agree with the stepmom spanking. Depends on how long she's been around.
Yeah, I should have let her know. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like I said, if this was a situation where, I guess if it's a situation that warrants her getting spanked, then maybe, I don't know. Well, maybe not.
She was fighting at school. Now, if you are a household that spanks your child, you have to think about that mindset too. We're looking at things, but she was fighting. Like, she was fighting at school. She didn't just, spill the juice. Like, the little girl got that was a situation that warranted some discipline. So,
Yep.
That can't really wait until visit's over. Like, till you get with your mama. That ain't wait till your daddy get home. That's wait till I drop you back off with your mama in a couple days.
Wait till next weekend when you with your mama.
Yeah. You're gonna have to spend the remainder of my visit grounded, where the whole household has to be affected. Whereas I can discipline you now, you can have your immediate situation, we can resolve it and move on with our lives. I'm not gonna disrupt my household to make you feel comfortable at your house. I'm not gonna do that. Yeah.
Absolutely, she does. Absolutely. I feel like if she hadn't been in the kid's life that long, then build up to spankings. Doesn't sound like she's been there. I mean, I would agree that if it's new, then it depends. Like, it still depends on. I mean, Q makes a good point about if the father doesn't spank, or believe in spanking the daughters, then that's different. But I don't know. I mean, I don't get an indication based on this how long the child has been, how long she's been there. What I do get an indication of is that there has not been any relationship established between the women in this scenario, and the level of respect between the two co-parents is not there.
Yeah.
So, all right, ready? Next.
Yeah. Oh, let me look at what it is. Well, yes. Oh, this one. This one had folks feeling all kinds of ways in the group. She was everything from trash to, I could see it. All right. How do I tell my husband that he is no longer good enough for me? I got fit. I got promoted. There are dozens of men in my work that are better looking, drive better cars, stay in larger homes, that have manifested interest in me. I decided I deserve more and better. Alrighty then, sis. You tell him fast, because if this is where you're at, let that man go, because this isn't a good space. Yeah, this isn't a good space. It's just, she's so matter of fact about it. Like, it's hard to even read through a line or do anything like that with this, because there isn't really one. You know, she feels like she has leveled up past whatever it was. She doesn't mention what he did or didn't do, what may have been worked out. Sis is done. She's ready to go. How do I tell him? You just tell him at this point, like you told us, with all them periods and 3 or 4 word sentences. Like, you cannot get any more matter of fact than that. And then be prepared for whatever he says after that. Like, you get what you get, and you do not get to throw a fit after you lay it out like that. That's a lot. That's a lot. Bro, what do you say? What do you think about this? You the counselor on this one, because to me, I'm just like, damn, with the YUM at the...
So okay, on this one, you know what I thought on this one, right? I thought I had to borrow. Well, so on the post, let me tell you what I said. On the post, what I said was, I said, how does she tell him? You go home and you say, I no longer want to be married to you. You don't ask him for, and you be prepared to give him spousal support, and don't ask for nothing from this man, and give him whatever he wants, and you move on with your life. That's serious. So that, to me, is that simple. Because if you don't no longer want to be married, then when a person no longer wants to be married, that they don't no longer want to do any work, there's absolutely nothing you can do to keep them. And then I had to use your phrase.
Because it says high value written all over it. No. And you deserve, dripping with a little, you deserve, sis. You done your thing. That's the thing. What in the Derek damn Samuels is going on?
What in the world is going on here?
Yeah.
Because you know, I'm all for consistency. So when we see a man who does this, I thought, okay, if this were a man, how would I respond? And I want to be consistent. If this were a man, the response that I gave would be the exact same response. And I would also probably say to him or to her, what kind, you have some audacity. Like, you got some audacity. But if that's where you are, go ahead. And don't be surprised when your partner bounce back.
Yeah. Yep.
So
I really wanted there to be more to this. Like, I wanted there to be backstory to fill in the matter of factness. But, you know, we know people that are this matter of fact. You know what I mean? Like, you know what? I'm done. I'm past this point in my life. I'm moved on, and I think I'm just going to move on now. We know men and women alike that have this very same attitude. When it's time to go, just nope, I'm keep it moving. You know? And that's what you would tell them, the same thing. Okay, well, then just let them go and do it as easy as possible. Just let it go. Yep.
Oh yeah, let the man go. They're bad for you because I'm not gonna say that. Okay. Yep. I'm gonna get in trouble if I say that.
Mm.
Was okay. Shanae says I'm already mad at this topic. She irks me.
Yeah, it's like what?
She was there in her mind before she got fit. She just waited until she got fit, and now it has a justification.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. She is serious. She thought that out. Absolutely thought it out. She thought it out, and then absolutely, like Dan just said, in her mind, figured out the justification. I actually know a scenario like this. That's what makes this itch. I know a scenario like this, and yeah, and sis did exactly this, but she like tried to take everything from it. She tried to take everything, so it wound up not working out. But yeah. Mike says, so you leveled up and now out. Excuse me, leveled up and now out. Let her leave. People lose and gain weight, get promoted and demoted all the time.
Yeah.
Me too.
It was fitting at the time. I've been applying it everywhere. Yeah.
It's a possibility. Well, she could be so prideful that she wouldn't, but I can tell you what, life in these single streets ain't as all it's cracked up to be sometimes. So yeah, you better be careful what you wish for.
I'm running out there.
Because you can get hit by cars real easy. Out trying to cross that, stay on your side, stay on the married side. If you there, work it out. I tell people, work it out. It ain't.
As we come up on this next topic about these two. Stick it out, you say. Hold tight, you say.
You gotta be consistent, right?
Ride or die, you say.
Here's my question. Are they married?
The jury's still out on that because they had some timing things about the whole when they first got married. They had a ceremony, but I don't think Yandy fully filed all the paperwork with the courts, or it's not. It hasn't been totally confirmed. Did she file the paperwork within the right time frame or something? So the validity of the actual nuptials have yet to be confirmed. And I honestly do not follow all of that. I don't watch reality TV like that. So, but as far as the people know and the way that they act and the money and all of that stuff, they are married. They have got the babies, the lifestyle. They move as though they are a married couple.
Okay.
So this topic, Mendici says, I don't know. When asked by Yandy if he'd hold her down if their roles were reversed. For those of you who don't know the backstory, Mendici was up on an 8-year charge for, I think it was a drug charge. Can't remember the specific drug. He was up on for 8 years for a drug charge, was released in 4 years. During those 4 years, Yandy was holding down 5 different businesses. They have children together. She was taping the show. She was doing all kinds of things. She was holding the family down. And him down as well. She was making calls, I think she was visiting from what I've heard and all kinds of things. She was doing all of the things that you do when your dude is locked up state. He got a limo when he got released. Like it was a big thing. Like Yandy don't do nothing little. Like Yandy doesn't do small. So, I'm not surprised at how she responded. So in this interview, I think it was a game or something they were doing where it was like a tell-all. And she asked him if the roles were reversed, would you do the same for me? And he was like, I don't know. And sis was devastated. Like she cried, she was upset. It was
so wrong. They told me not to do that. People was like, you holding him down. I'm like, oh Lord.
Mm-hmm. It was rough because she went through a lot from her circle, from her inner circle, and from the internet, holding him, taking that stance throughout that. So she really did. She persevered, so to speak, but she went through a lot to stand by him during that time, and to have your other say that about knowing what you just went through, I can imagine was shattering.
Okay, I got questions. So this is the counselor of me had questions like, was like, okay, so before he went in, was there any cheating, you know what I mean, like infidelity issues? Because my thinking was like, you know your person. Like there are certain things when you've been with somebody for a little bit, like you know them. And so I wondered, like, was she hoping that he would hold her down, or did she really know? Like, I mean, like in your mind, you know, that he ain't that guy. So
I think he was hoping he wouldn't say that on television like that.
Yeah. Now I will say this: when I saw it, when the question came out, I was like, brother, please lie, please lie, please lie. Please lie. And I know lying ain't right, but I just kept thinking, please lie. This is not the place to tell your at the time I didn't know if they're married, but I just your woman that you don't know, especially after she's done it.
Done that. That's not just a regular, you didn't have a car accident and she went to physical therapy with you for a couple months and then y'all are back to your regular lives. You were in jail. You were gone, removed from the home, and their lives were altered for 4 years.
With kids.
Your children. Together with her. But that, you know what I mean? That's not just some random children that you have been loving on and you've been sending money to back and forth and, you just going to be gone for a while. Those are your babies. And I don't know.
The other part of me was concerned that the flip side of that, to me, I was concerned that after she done it, you still don't know. So to me, I walked away from that thinking, if I were her, we would probably not make it after that.
Yeah.
Because after doing it, and you still couldn't be like, yeah, I would definitely do it. At this point, now I would definitely do it. Because I mean, you held me down, you took care of the kid, all of this stuff you did, absolutely. But I watched their whole conversation, and he's sitting there fussing about the time she didn't answer the phone when he called. I'm like,
what? She's outside, you know that, right? Like on the free side, right? Like,
I'd be like, yeah, bro, you ain't there.
But to your point that you said in your previous comment of knowing your person, if she knew him, she asked him that question. She was the one who asked him that question.
True.
I don't think that was a random question that an interviewer asked them and he was just responding to.
True.
I believe she asked that. So why would you put him on the spot knowing that if you bet the damn know the answer to that question before you asked that question on national television, unless you expected what you got and you wanted to have that production for this kind of conversation. You know what I mean? We have to remember this is reality TV that we're talking about here.
Yeah. Or you're hoping he gonna lie for the camera.
Yeah, but that ain't the man you got, sis. He's not on. I don't see Mendeecees doing that. These women really be testing these hood dudes to the tilt on these reality TV shows. Y'all be really trying, homies. Like, I don't understand it. Like,
that's not how he's
not built for that life. And you will get your whole feelings hurt fooling with some of these regular street dudes on these reality TV shows. They are not about that life, y'all. Not at all. Stop it. So, yeah, I have other questions about how that even got posed that way. But, yeah.
That's true. Yeesh. All right, we got one more. We only got 5 minutes.
Oh, okay.
What's going on? Oh, yeah. Ooh, okay.
All these. Damn it. Okay.
Go ahead.
Whenever it's a text conversation, I just be like, oh, these never go well. All right. Because this one just takes a sharp turn for the worst. So, babe, females on the left in gray, Bay is in the blue. Bae, I never asked you for nothing, but will you be able to loan me $25 to help me pay my light bill? I pay you back Friday. Ask your baby daddy. That's not my responsibility. His child stays with you. He should help you with those bills. But my baby daddy already gave me $225 2 days ago, and I had to pay my cable and internet with that. It wouldn't hurt him to give you $25 more. If you don't, just threaten child support. I bet he will do it then. Okay, babe, I'm going to ask him then. Okay, I love you. Can't wait to come home and make love to you. Okay, babe, I love you too. It's foolishness. What in the world? What in the world? Why did we get this foolishness for $25? How did this make it to the internet? But you know what? This happens. There are dudes that will sit up and allow this foolishness to happen, and there are women that will allow this to happen. This. I'm hoping they are young. I'm really hoping they are young.
How young we talking?
Really young. I'm hoping really.
Like 17, 18, like
no, this is this new young. So they could be 25 or younger. This could be cute to somebody 25 or younger. To be laid up plotting on a dude that's not there no more and getting some money. I could see this being attractive to a certain type of dude, 25 or younger, that would tell this chick this. And a chick that would go for it. I'm hoping. Y'all, I'm reaching. I just couldn't with this one. I can't. I told y'all it was taking a sharp turn, but this was just crazy.
All I could do when I read, all I could say was just I was listening, and then part of me was like, "What the Jedi mind trick is happening here?"
That boy good. I had to use that gift again on this one. He worked that out, didn't
he? He just Jedi mind tricked her.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't gonna get him some when he get home.
Mm-hmm. And broke her down, told her to he should be able to do that. Your child stays with you, and so do you, from what it sounds like, and so do you. What do you mean? What are you talking about?
He has to. Either that or she. I mean, I'm agreeing with Sinead. Like either that or
dipped in gold, child. Dipped. The tip is dipped.
I gotta work. I'm telling you, I'm gonna say just like I said. I'm doing this dating thing wrong.
No, you're not.
If this is what you can do in dating, I am doing something absolutely wrong. I'm gonna try that. Ask your baby daddy for it.
You know, I've never found it cute for another man for a man to ask a woman that he's interested in to ask another man for anything. If you have become the man in her life, I do not want you to then turn around. If you're the man in my life, I do not want you to turn around and tell me, go ask any other man for anything. I just don't. I don't think that should be your go-to when it comes time to show up for me, is go ask him.
Okay. I agree, but I'm just saying it works. Apparently.
It shouldn't.
This is a couple of weeks in a row now that we've seen where this level of foolishness is working in these dating streets. I am doing something wrong. I absolutely agree with you. I'm not asking my woman to go and ask nobody for nothing.
Mm-mm.
But if I can't do it, I'll find something. I'll figure it out or something. But we're not.
Yeah, don't do that.
To no another man.
Don't do that. No.
But to be able to do, I'm like, he did that and then still managed to get him some.
And then managed to get him some. Yes.
Probably told him, I done worked hard today. Can I give me something to eat too? Okay, man, I got you. I just see that. I just see this working. Not
Don't
for
do
me.
that. Don't do that.
Why not?
Because it's not cute. That's ghetto. Don't do that. Don't do that.
You know I ain't about to do no foolishness.
I
like
know.
that.
I'm just saying, for those of you out there that are contemplating this, he's joking. It's not gonna work. Don't do that. Not for $25. Don't.
Right.
Don't be trifling like that.
Oh, all right. That was Hot Topics.
That was Hot Topics.
That was Hot Topics. Are you you doing an ad today?
Oh, did you happen to grab? I meant to tell you as we were getting ready to go live. Did you grab Shanae's picture with her baby's legs?
I did
with
not.
Before and after. Well, I messed up and I didn't send it to you.
Right. Well,
you guys.
I'll get it in a
Sexy
second.
Shea Butter, huh?
I said I'll get it in just a second.
Okay. So Elegance by Design is back in action. Okay. Our hiatus has ended. The containers have arrived. And I got my equipment going. I've been pumping out Shea on the weekends. We're getting this thing going. So I encourage you to go and get your Elegance by Design. Sexy Shea Butter is flying off of the shelves. Okay. I'm telling you to get some. And I'm thanking Shanae. She is watching today. And I'm hoping we can get this up here before the end of the show so we can show it to you guys. But this Sexy Shea Butter changes lives. Okay. I've been telling you guys since forever that this thing, if you got skin, you need Sexy Shea Butter. And it's making your skin summer ready. You can wear your shorts again. It is helping with eczema, clearing up dark spots, dry, scaly skin. I'm telling you, this stuff is amazing. It's just, this is some of the best shea butter you will find, and it's available for you. And if you are looking to clear up skin issues, you are looking for the Luscious Lemon Cake scent or the unscented version. Both of them smell amazing. Unscented even still smells amazing, but those are the ones that are free of the fragrance oils that might further irritate your skin. Thank you. There you go. Y'all check this out. Check this out. The left is the before, the right is this baby's after. Okay. If your children, I was this little girl. Okay. It took me until I was almost 17 years old to go out in Oklahoma heat with my legs out, because this was my story. So when I saw this, I literally dropped a tear because this was my story. And I'm so thankful that my product is a product that can save a baby from having her life with her legs covered, her arms covered, her skin covered due to scarring. If this is your issue, if this is your child's issue, if you know someone who struggles with this issue, please drop them the link to my site, elegancebydesign.com. Tell them to ask me questions if they have them, but I'm going to get you taken care of. I can help restore your skin. Thank you, baby, for getting that up. I appreciate that. I just needed the people to see that before and after.
Yeah, when I saw that, I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. So many of us struggle with this. So many of us have this issue growing. So many little brown girls hide their skin due to how our skin scars. So.
Yeah, that's dope. All right. Cool. All right. So let's jump into this topic tonight. So tonight we're gonna talk a little bit about. So this is the meme that started this conversation. We're gonna talk a little bit about this whole thing, this whole idea of dating for marriage and what it means, and not only so much what it means, but what it doesn't mean as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of interested also. Oh, this is the wrong one. I'm also kind of interested in how we're dating. It's designed with the Z. Dion is here. That's not what I want. Made that a lot harder on myself than I needed to. There you go.
Our words are super big in our box today.
I don't know why that is.
Yeah. It's just the design with the .com, sis.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Yeah, so okay, Russ, let's use the right one now that I where am I at? Here we go. There we go. So Juno says, I'm dating to marry. I want a family, not a little relationship. Chanel says, I've learned dating to marry allows you to put up with BS because you visualize a future and aren't focused on the now. Date to be happy, and if happiness turns into marriage, you get exactly what you want. So let me start by saying again, I understand the idea of dating to marry or dating for a purpose. I actually don't have any issue with that. But I also, my concern is, I think I actually agree somewhat with what Chanel is saying, in the sense that a lot of times when we date to marry, when we say we're dating to marry, I agree with her saying that we do visualize a future. I do agree when she's saying that sometimes that we let things go that we shouldn't let go, because we have this idea that marriage is the goal. And I think I've heard Dan say it before, where he talks about that was it Dan? No, it was Rob. Rob talks about how we shouldn't date, like the end goal of dating should not be marriage. Like marriage is a product, as a result of good dating, but we shouldn't go in saying that every person I date, I'm going to marry. Like, let's just date. Let's just find out if we work. And then if we work, then we can move to that. Like, it's not like, okay, I dated well, so I get the prize of being married. Because what you should find out, what we should find out is we will date good people that we're not supposed to marry.
Yeah.
And so I think that's where I'll start this conversation off. And just, I'm interested to hear from a woman's perspective, like, where does this come from? Where do you think this comes from? How do we, and then like, let's talk about how we should really date. What are some things we should look for? And then ultimately, she talks about some of the BS that we put up with, like, yeah, let's look at that as well.
So just breaking down these two thoughts, dating to marry is a good thing. Dating for long-term companionship, to have a good experience with someone because you know that you want to be with someone on a long-term basis and enjoy their company, I think is a good thing. With a goal, knowing that you want to experience the benefits of marriage with that person eventually is also not a bad thing.
Right.
But I can also see Chanel's point of view, where she says that when you visualize the end game, you often blur all of the stuff that happens in the interim and don't realize that there's work that's supposed to happen there. So you will ignore things that you will assume you can work on later on and that not be reality. And that's where I think we get confused and frustrated and disappointed when these types of things happen. And I think it's important for us to really understand that when you don't pay attention to what's happening when you're in the moment, you're going to miss some of those long-term things, because people show you who they are in those silent times, in those times where you're thinking that, you're too busy thinking about your big picture and, oh, I just can't wait. I can't imagine for us to be, you're already doing the receptions and you got the kids made and, all those things together, but you're missing what's happening right now. And that, this person doesn't really like kids very much. Every time we get around kids, like, they don't like him and he don't like them and vice versa. So like, we miss the very important things, thinking that we're trying to fit a person into what our long-term is going to be. And I think that's why dating, and a lot of times, gets the bad rap, because we put too much weight on what dating is supposed to be. You miss the vitals.
Absolutely. And I think, I always I ain't gonna say laugh, but I always, make the joke of like, you find somebody you like, and then all of a sudden, you 3 months in, and now you already writing their name, their last name after yours. Like we get into what what we would typically call like the honeymoon phase, and the honeymoon phase because and I have no problem like visualizing what life could be like. It's just when it's not grounded in reality that it becomes a problem. Like you said, like there are certain things that we should definitely be asking, and certain conversations that we should intentionally be having that let us know if this person really is a good fit for us, or like you said, if this is just a good person but not the good person for me. And that's okay. Like I think that's okay. Specifically, like I think especially for well, I won't do that. Yes, I will. I think especially for ladies, like you have to be very careful about seeing a good guy and going, oh, this is a good guy, I need to hold on to him just because he's a good guy. He very well could be a good guy, but again, he might not be your good guy, or he might not be great for you. So to be able to say, like, this is a good guy, this is just somebody who's a friend, is perfectly acceptable. Now, for those who like to rush people into the friend zone, that's a different story. But but again, it's just, if you don't have to marry everybody you date, or every good person you date, because there's a lot of key things that you have to be there in order for for there to be a chance, a good chance that you're gonna make it, let alone a real solid possibility.
Yeah.
I think it's more.
And every good person shouldn't be dated. Like sometimes, like you said, this person just might not be you. It doesn't work out. So just have good people around you. Right. Sometimes your good friend will save you from some really bad situations, not because he's dating you, but because he's aware enough of what good men look like, how they move, what they say, how they respond, that they can keep your head on the swivel a little bit better. Because it is easier for us to get all googly eyed and silly. You know what I'm saying? So we can't just be snatching up all the folks. Some of these folks, those are your Heisman people. Those are your protectors. Those are the people that we need around us. But we too busy. Lord, just let some folks just be good people. Just be good people.
We are too busy hoping that we don't miss our possibility or our one. Or thinking that we don't want to miss our window, that now we're going to, or or the flip side of that, or we're holding on to somebody or something for the wrong reasons, or we're saying stuff like, yeah, I mean, he don't work, but he love God. If he love God, then the rest of it will work itself out. No, baby, that's not how that works.
That's not how that works.
That's not how that works. He can love God with all his heart, mind, soul, and strength, and still not ever learn how to keep it out. And you have to decide if that's what you want, or or the favorite, sex is good. So it's like there's a lot of things that we do, and so how do we say this ain't the one? And I think I go back to understanding that marriage is great, but and I'm never one to say don't get married, at least not anymore. But I used to, I ain't gonna lie, post divorce, I was like, don't do it. But but to say, like, if you don't, life can still be really good and fulfilling. You're gonna be all right.
And the whole idea of your little relationship, what did she say? The first one, I don't want a little relationship. Like, I was like, girl, sit down somewhere. Like, stop that. Stop that. Not a little relationship. If it's a healthy one, honey, I will have my little healthy relationship. Thank you. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, I will. You know what I mean? If I got to deal with all the stuff in the bottom half that doesn't make you happy, I will take that little relationship.
And I think
that's not the sex that you think.
Listen, and my thing is the right little relationship eventually turns into that. Like, again, it's beautiful. Like, there's a whole process that we're supposed to go through that leads us to a place where we know that this is the right person, that this is the person who we are committing to, that we're committing to rolling, rocking, and going through all of the here's my plug, the surviving the marriage storms with,
Yes.
that we're with. So we know that all of that stuff is going to come. Does this person have what's necessary to be a good, healthy partner? Does this person have what I need in order to to be able to depend on them when life gets rough?
Yeah.
And granted, like in certain situations, like in mine, I mean, I got married at 22. Like, you obviously can't tell how a person at 52 is going to be, but you see their core values. Like, even at see a person's core value, so that can help you make some projections as to who a person is, who they're going to be at 52, 62, 72. So I think we just have to take our time and go ahead and be okay with the little relationship until it develops into something that's more in depth, or that's marriage, if it gets to that point.
Yeah. Crazy. Sorry, I just got notified of something different to close out of that.
your whole the thing. Anyway,
Sorry.
You good?
Yes, I'm good. No, it was. Yes, I'm fine. But yeah, this subject, we get we're very romanticized as far as our culture. You know what I mean? We just, everything about us is we've got to get to that next stage, the next stage. We want what we see is supposed to be so much better. You know what I mean? And it's just, the whole living in the moment is not so bad. It's not so bad. You miss things when you're so busy looking for next, you miss what's right now. And that could save you from a whole lot of filling whatever blanks.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think it also, I agree with you. I think it also, what it does is so I'm one that says that there needs to be a balance of reality and fantasy.
Yes. Yeah.
There does need to be a sense of fantasy in a relationship, because I think, fantasy, especially for the type of, certain types of personalities, is a huge thing in terms of romance that keeps relationships going. It helps with romance, with intimacy in other places. So I mean, it does do some really good things, but it shouldn't be at the sense of where we completely lose logic, where we completely skip over, like you said, the process or the work that it takes to really say, does this, is she it?
Yeah. So how do we do this healthily? Is there a certain, because we always talk about Steve Harvey and his time frames and his limits, the milestones and things like that, which I also agree that's a little bit much to sometimes, have this hard set time frames. But is there a certain how do you ebb and flow when you're trying to let things happen the way that they should, but that your end game is you do want, like I said at the beginning, you do want to take the benefits of marriage. You do want to do those things. So how do you tell someone who has been dating wrong, how do we course correct when it comes to that? What are the top 3 things that you can do to course correct your dating life with this scenario?
To course correct. So if a person is dating wrong, what 3 things would I tell them? I would, let's see. A person is dating wrong. The first thing I would do is I would tell them to, there we go. I would ask them to do a very simple exercise, which is I would ask them to write the things about, they're in a relationship. Are they in a relationship or are they not in a relationship?
In a relationship. Let's do it. They're in a relationship.
What are the things about your partner right now that scare you? What scares you about your partner? everything. Like I want to know everything. And if and the reason I would do that is because if you are in a romanticized moment, you're not gonna see very much of it because everything about them is great. So now I need to ground you in reality. So and then if you would say nothing, I would ask, how are they with money? What's their credit? What is the how are they with intimacy? Was not sex. How are they with intimacy? Do they, I would go through all of the different areas. How are they? How do you like their habits? Do you like their friends? Are their friends married? How are their friends? Like I would go through all of these different things, and then to help you self-discover some things about your partner that are not good. And then I would say, now that you got these things, you still want to marry this? This is what you're marrying into. You want to marry into that? And so then, okay, now that I've got you grounded in reality, now I'm going to ask you to now go back to your partner. And I want to know, if you're dating somebody already, I would ask the reverse. What are the things about them that make you want to stay with them? And if those things aren't rooted in, and then I would ask, and where do you want to go with your life? Now, do all three of these things match? Just if one of them is not like the other, you have a problem.
Yeah.
So that's what I would do. I would say, okay, let's talk to me about that kind of stuff. So after we do that, that would be one. The second thing I would do is I would tell them, I would ask them what would it look like for them to take a step back. Not like from the relationship, but take a step back and really start having conversation and discussion and looking at who that person really is. Because again, there's a thing we're just not looking.
Yep. You're not looking.
Just not looking. And then I will say, okay, and as you take this step back, which means ask the right questions, have the right conversations, be intentional about some of the stuff that you want to know. I would say now look to see, does what they're currently doing match where they say they're currently going? That's just off the top of my head.
Yeah. Just off the top of your head?
Yeah, that's what I would do.
Y'all catch that? You can, and then the longing look off to the left of it, just to make sure there are no more nuggets tucked away back there. Oh, it's off the top of my head. Put that in your hand. Take that with you. This guy.
It might be my next book. Actually, no, I'm kidding. It might. I don't know.
Well, those are very good random tips, sir. Appreciate those.
Yeah.
What
would you do?
I like your deep dive into it. I think if I was in the same line of our previous conversation, as far as taking it a little slower and living in more of the moment, I would be more willing. I would be quick from a woman's point of view to say, probably relax. You know what I mean? Stop trying to create, just see, just look at what's happening around you, because it's very easy to get caught up. And sometimes you might need to wait a few days, take a couple days. We need some breathers. We can get caught up and start replaying conversations and seeing things. Like, we do all kinds of things. So sometimes when you really want to make sure that this is something that's going to be sustainable, it's good to take a break sometimes. How do you sustain without it? Because a lot, like, if you start going, withdrawals are cute for movies. Like, the whole idea of, oh my God, I miss you so much. Like, that's cute for movies. No one really likes that in real life. If you find yourself in one of them type of situations in real life, whether it's you or it's them, it's time for you to take a moment and be like, okay. So this might be a bit much, we might just need to breathe a little bit. And I think that can happen, not even into the extremes of where it feels like withdrawals, but when you can get so wrapped up in a thing where all you see is the bells and the white picket fences and the big dresses and all that, or, you start saying, man, she the one. I've had homeboys, I've had male friends and family who have been players from the Himalayas since as long as I've known them, get to the age that we are right now, at 35 or so, and everyone's getting married, everyone's settling down, career things are happening, milestones are being achieved, and they still playing. And they don't like that too much. So men, this also happens with men. Men also get to the point where it is time to get married. I need me a woman. I'm getting too old. My stuff is breaking down. It's time for somebody to help me stay alive. Like, and this is, I'm not exaggerating. I've heard these conversations.
That's real.
So, you know, I think men can get into this space also. And when you find yourself doing too much in the name of love, trying to make it happen, I think that is one of the things that I would absolutely tell someone. It's time for you to chill. If it is as good as you say it is, it will be here when you get back.
Yep.
Take a beat.
And then to add to that, can I add something to that?
Yeah, please.
I would also say when you do this, both people should really like investigate how does this really feel? Like, because inevitably what insecurities come up.
Yes.
Because most likely this gonna kick up some insecurity. What he doing? Yep. What's she doing? Are they cheating? Are they doing this? Like, you need to know all of that, because in that moment, like now that things are not going well, or you're not in that bubble, what are you going, like, what does it feel like? What is being really revealed? And that's gonna tell you, A, some of the things that you got to work on in you, but B, some of the things that are not as solid as you think about in this relationship.
Yeah. It's not just, I just love being around you. It's because when I'm around you, I know you're not around anybody else.
It's feeding.
You know what I mean? For a lot.
This is feeding my insecurity.
Yes.
And my fear. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I think that is one of those things that would be my primary advice for someone that I see going down that. It just got to be, you know, we're beelining for the forever. You know, that is something I was, you know, it's never bad to take a second. And honesty is always good, but you don't have to dwell. Once you find out that both of you are in one accord as far as where you're going, I don't think it's important to constantly bring it up. Like, as much as I love conversations and those, what are you thinking? The topics, and you know, those, I'm gonna pick your brain and I love those conversations. I live for those conversations. But sometimes when it's just not time for that. Just have regular old, easy breezy, non-pointed, not task related, you know, just talk to your mate so that you can even find out that is still something you want to do. You will find out without having to go through a quiz if you really vibing with the person. But if you're looking to answer questions as opposed to experience a person, you're going to be able to manipulate that test. Absolutely. You're going to be able to do it.
Absolutely.
You can't manipulate the vibe. Like, the vibe is just the vibe. The vibe is going to be the vibe. So.
I think what you said about experiencing somebody is hugely important, because now you got to really decide. First of all, you know, as Bishop Martin would say, like, first of all, can we even have fun together? Like, it's right. Fun for you and I, even the same thing. So now I've got to decide if even on that basic friend fun level we can do that well. And again, not to say that just because you can, it doesn't mean that you got to get married, but it does mean that, like, okay, this is somebody who I need to keep in my life. Now we just got to figure out where they fit.
Oh, yeah.
Where do they fit? So I don't want to diminish. I don't diminish marriage. I don't diminish that it's a good thing. It's a great thing for plenty of reasons. I just don't think that, again, that, like, we need to put all of our energy, like a lot of times we do put a lot of energy, or a lot of the idea that something is good or bad in marriage. Like, it's a good thing, but not do it ain't a bad thing. Or to not be, you know what I mean? Or to wait is not a bad thing. Just like to, you know, depending on the person or the time, to move at a pace that you're comfortable with is not a good thing. Like, you don't have to rush into it, but don't, you know, it's like, I don't know, it's complicated.
I think we're just now getting to a point where we're willing to be as honest as we need to be about marriage in spaces that are not protected. We are having more candid conversations about marriage because there's nothing wrong with marriage. What's wrong with we have a bad relationship with marriage because we suck at preparing for marriage. We do a lot of marriage recon. We do a lot of marriage reconstruction, repair, you know, We will send out the brigades and the sniper force. We'll have all the mothers of the church and everybody to come together to save the marriage and to love on the marriage and do all the things. But we have no care. If anything, we're trying to keep people as far away apart from each other until they are getting ready to be married. And now just wait for all the wonderful things to happen over the marriage trail. You know what I mean? Like, so we give them this big, wonderful idea of all the fun stuff that happens after marriage happens. And this isn't just in Christianity. This is all over. Like, there's certain things that don't, financial blessings that don't get unlocked until, you know, financial secrets that don't get unlocked until after marriage. People, so many military situations have been rushed simply because these things happen. You can survive and thrive better after marriage. You know what I'm saying? So like our preparation and our candor about what that is sets us up for all of the other BS that happens that old girl's talking about. It makes it easier to blur all of that because yeah, that's okay. We'll deal with that. Like, okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. But look at all of this, you know, people stop messing with us about this. We now get to go do this. Oh, they welcome us into these places. Like, we have to do better at the preparation part. If we're gonna allow all of these extras to be attached to it, we should prepare people better to stay in it. Like
you know, I know.
Yeah, we
I know.
We got to do better.
Anyway, I digress. I was about to tell my business again, but
Yo, you mean like any other show that we do? Like, isn't that what we do here? But no, by all means.
I was talking about this. You know, I know because you already know this. I just got denied for a whole job because I'm not married. So it's definitely So
the pressure. People's professional livelihoods are, you know, the success that we say you're supposed to have to be this wonderful husband is hanging on the fact that you're not a husband.
Not a husband, so I can't be their pastor. I was like, whoa.
You know, it's just, and then we hold our pastors in such high regard. You know what I mean? And we got this pedestal is so high. Since we're gonna just go down, we got time. We might as well go down, take a little detour down that rabbit hole. Since you know, so much of so much of us and how we think about things is rooted. Our fascination with marriage is so rooted in religion, in our church, in our faith, and all of that. Again, things get unlocked once marriage happens. You know, acceptance happens.
You get
favor comes. You know what I mean? So, but like we put so much on people to get this to this next level, and we're not really, there's no preparation for that. There's no candor that's being had. There's no, not candor is not even the right word. That vulnerability and transparency of saying this is what this is, the good, the bad, the ugly, and not feeling that shame behind it. You know what I mean? That vulnerability without shame, so that people can actually succeed in these places.
Yeah. There's not, I'm gonna say none, but there's not a lot of good preparation for marriage, and that's in and out of church. I mean, in general, and you know, and even with this show, like we've had conversations about this too. It is very difficult. It is, y'all don't know how difficult it is to find married couples who will talk about marriage publicly. Like married couples have been married for a long time. Like I've asked like couples like, oh, y'all been married 20 years, come on the show and talk to us about it. No, we can't do that. I'm like, really? Like it is difficult to find long-term couples who are willing to talk about marriage. And I still don't know why, but I have some opinions.
The narrative.
Well, I think
you can't really control the narrative on the spot too.
That too, and I think it's ultimately is I don't want to talk about the ugly parts. It's real easy to talk about the cute stuff, but the ugly parts that I've done or that I had the ways I've caused pain to my partner, I don't want to talk about that publicly because I don't want to bring it back up, or we still dealing with it, or I might get exposed for not being the person who I show you all that I really am, which to me is done, but whatever. Nevertheless,
I love how Kadeen and Deval do it. I like how you can talk about different things. They talk about different things, and they have they share the stories about each other. They share the moments of, you know what I mean, of he went and cried and that. Like, I've been listening to their podcast here these last few I think it's the last 2 weeks or so. And like they will share the full on feelings that they were having. Like they are able to, and I don't know if that's because they've healed through it, or if this podcast is becoming the healing. Like they've just kind of set that ground rule with each other. That's just their relationship. But I think that is a really good example of being able to, of a couple being able to really share. Like, we need that level of vulnerability and openness with others who desire to reach that level of life. You know what I mean? Like, there is a certain understanding that they have. There's a comfort level that they have with each other. They trust each other with saying, I was in that moment with you. I didn't notice what you were thinking then, but I'm going to tell you now, and it's still going to be okay. I'm not going to be bitching about this later on when we get home. We can have this episode. We can share this truth, and we can go on about our business. I don't know. We may never know how that really came about, or if that's just really how cool they are. But I think that is ideally what is needed by and large in our communities when it comes to marriage. That type of, because they laugh. It looks like, oh, if they can laugh like this, see, why can't we? Man, that's how they argue. Like, it still seems like it's always like it's gonna be okay. They argue with an understanding that it's gonna be okay.
Right. Yeah, no, I agree. I actually like them as well. I do. I actually very, very much so.
Yeah.
Like
them.
Yeah. I think I also am one of the questions I get a lot is I'm asked, what are some of what the post would call the BS reasons that I should leave? Like we were talking about with the other guy, like, how he must have, his sex must be good in order for him to be like what are some things that we should, like, are there for you, or do you think in general, not for you, in general, that there are some things that a man and a woman should be like, these are immediate, do not. Besides, let's take out the normals. Let's take out abuse. Let's take abuse out. What are some things like during dating that a person should automatically be like, if this person does this, or are there?
Oh yeah, I think there are. Yes, I think there are things that should probably disqualify a person from dating. I think emotional maturity is a huge one. Not only romantically, but I think how they deal with ranges of emotions with people that they interact with.
Listen, you preaching to the choir there.
It's huge. It's huge. Yeah, because that's gonna fester. Because the first time that there's a real hurt, a real, something that you really gonna have to work through together, if that person is already not set up with a solid foundation on how to work through, frustration and anger and, sadness and disappointment and those types of things, and be able to communicate that, not necessarily like a therapist or a counselor, but be able to communicate it like an adult and say, hey, this thing right here feels this way, and we need to do this thing to make this better. If a person is not willing to at least attempt to have that type of conversation, yeah, it's time to move around. If you can recognize that in how they deal with other people, even. Nobody says you have to have your first drawn, knockout, drag out in the 3 months to identify if this person can argue or not. Like, that's not what I'm saying. They will generally let you know and how they deal with even the least bit of conflict in others. That push that they have. If it's never them, no matter what, it's never them. It's always what they doing to you. And though that is a sign of not being accountable and being able to deal with things on a mature level. That would be my one. What you got? We can tennis this one. We can tennis this one back and forth.
I just knew I was ready to leave when the way he chewed his food bothered me to no end. And then I saw myself. I learned, lucky he had the flaws that bothered me those same flaws allowed him to put up with me. We heal from this flawed man together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry. You took my first one, which is emotional maturity. That's it. So another thing for me, okay. I think that in general that a person should walk away from. I really think that if a person is financially irresponsible, you should let them go.
Mm.
Let me say financially irresponsible with the caveat that they're unwilling to submit to learning from you or somebody else how to change that. I think that's so much of a because that's so much of a huge thing in marriage or in even just in life in general. That's a life skill that we all need to have or develop. That if you're unwilling to at least admit to somebody or be learning how to get better in that, then you don't want to be with them. Because can you imagine? Woo! 50 years later, y'all still arguing over the fact that he can't count, he or she, can't pay the water bill on time.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's annoying.
Mm-hmm.
Like it becomes annoying.
So, my next one is probably one where people, especially in the replay, might be like, "What?" But I think things like kids, things like the way that you want your life to be, like your long-term plan for your happy place. If those things don't pretty much align now, I think before you start finding things to love about them and creating something about that thing that you don't really like, but they like it. So before you get there, if things are not in alignment, move on. Because down the line, trying to convince someone that they should want kids because our kids would be beautiful kids and we'd have some brilliant kids. And can you just imagine? No. Because I don't want no damn kids. I don't want to imagine. Not for you, not for her, not for them. I don't want kids. You know what I'm saying? So I think
that's me.
Before you start doing all of that, I think it's putting too much on the shoulda, coulda, wouldas of the world. And that's how we end up resenting and feeling some type of way because we forced this thing to happen. If it ain't aligned, if you want kids, if you want children. And it's not going to magically make you want kids because you with this person. Like rarely is that really the real reason why somebody switches those real life wants and desires like that. I just don't think it happens.
Absolutely. I'll be the first to be like, "Oh, you want kids? Well, it was nice knowing you."
Because I'm dead.
God bless you. Factory is closed. We're done.
Yeah.
We're good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I absolutely agree with that. Absolutely. My next, I'm gonna go this way. If you don't like the person, the habits and the lifestyle of the person, not that you have to do the same thing, but that lifestyle and the habits of the person who you are, who you're trying to be with, then you should not be with them. Not me. Again, let me say, that doesn't mean you have to do it. So here's an example. You don't like alcohol, but he likes to drink all the time. And alcohol for you is a problem because you might come from a family of alcoholics, and so that has some negative connotations with you. If that's not something that you are willing to be, y'all could be on the same page or compromise about, I actually think that's something that would make me say that I can't be with you. Because that person, I can tell you, most likely that person's not going to change. And so if their habits, alcohol, drugs, the way they party, what they do for fun, things like that, if that's not in alignment with you and who you are and how you want for your long-term life or in your dating relationship, Move on.
Yep. And we got to be okay with doing that. We have to be okay with moving on. You know what I mean? And I think we need to try and get some of these things over with sooner rather than later. Like, have these conversations, get to the nitty gritty of it. That whole, you know, they'll show you, and that's all cute and everything after you've qualified a certain amount of things. You need to get the basics out of the way to make sure it's worth your time. No one likes their time wasted. Nobody likes their time wasted. So why would you spin your wheels trying to figure it out later on? And then, like I said, once you've spent time, you've been intimate, not necessarily sexually, but you've been intimate to the point where you share spaces, you've had some thoughts, you've created a couple memories, you've ran into a couple friends, you've done some things. So now you're thinking, maybe, it could work. But why these people are still play cousins where you just barely got them, you know, you love them like a play cousin, you barely got them saved in the phone, you know, you still all of the, you're not really following them on friends on social media and all that stuff yet. You're just figuring it out. That is when you make those decisions. That is when you, and it's okay. If this person is really your person, they'll be back. They'll come back. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just that simple and plain. It's not worth the potential heartbreak, backlash, BS, friend loss, negative energy. Like, it's not worth it when you can just be like, this just doesn't work. And at that point, they're more than likely like, you know what, you're right. You're right. No harm, no foul. Y'all can still dap each other down when y'all pass each other at the bar. Have a good day and keep it moving. You know what I mean? Like, no harm, no foul. But when we drag that thing out.
You know what's interesting though was as I was just sitting there thinking, listen to what you're saying. All of this stuff that we just just talked are things that you could find out while you're still friends.
Yep.
So, like we could find out most of this while we're still friends to even determine if we should move into a relationship. Like, we should be able to, you know,
and mess around and get the truth, like the real truth,
better truth at that, because now there's the pressure of performing to get picked or to get chose or to get kept is not there. So, which is a part of the reason why that's such a great space to be in, and I mean true friends, not the friends like I'm trying to be your friend so I could smash later friends, or so I could be, I'm waiting for my turn friend, but actual friend that you could actually be yourself with, and they can show and expose that kind of stuff around you. The other thing I'm gonna add to, now we got 2 minutes. The one thing I want to add, especially for those of us who are people of faith, is you also, if a person's faith does not match yours, then I would not be with them. Now, I'm going to say that not to mean, because I think it's very, the whole equally yoked thing, like, oh, they're not a person of faith, I am. I'm not just referring to that. I'm saying that you could actually have two people who are two people of faith and still you don't match. How you exercise your faith, how your faith plays out in your life, if that's not even if you're in a position where because I've seen people who have different faiths, and because the way they exercise it and the way they manifest it, the way they it is for their life, it matches, it works and it matches, and so they have great marriages and great relationships. But I've seen people who could be the same denomination in the same church their whole life, and the way their faith plays out different in their lives, they're not good matches. So I would say also look at that. Look at how you how your faith, especially if you're a person of faith, and that is a big part of your moral compass, if that's a big part of how you how you try to live out your life. So that would be the last one I would add.
I would agree with that completely. Yeah. How you connect with your higher source, however that may be, religion, spirituality, whatever, to have that debate long after, like, that's something that you shouldn't really have to debate. Those things shouldn't mesh. Yeah. You shouldn't have to debate your faith with someone that you plan on sharing your bed with. You know what I mean? You can debate pieces, you can debate ideals and conversations and things like that. I think that's great, but you should not be debating the validity of the necessity of what you believe in just for the sake of being with someone.
Right. You both should honor and respect others' faith and debate in the sense of I don't get it. I might understand certain parts of it. Why that don't make sense to me. Like that part don't make sense. Like, you can do that, but what you believe in going to hell. Like, we don't need to be together.
I believe I'm leaving now. Is what I believe.
Start the music. Yeah. Although I think that's the end of the road right there.
I like a good outro song.
It's unnatural. Woo.
Yeah.
All right, wrap this on up. We can wrap it up.
Yes, we can. It's been a good show. We got it done. Uh-oh. Shanae says, I've taken a shower, picked my son up from work, ordered IHOP, picked it up, changed bed linens, and put the kids to bed and haven't missed anything on tonight's show. I love the school show. Sis was president accounted for, okay? From 8:04 until 9:52, sis has been locked in.
Oh, we love you for it.
We appreciate you. We appreciate you.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Oh, God. What you got?
What do I have? It is Mother's Day coming up. Love on your mamas, okay? If you have her around still, please send her some love, make some time for her, show up for her, shower her with a gift or two, please and thank you. Enjoy that for your mamas. If your mother is not here, sending you all the love and light that I possibly can. Please surround yourself with good folks on this weekend. And honestly, you know what? I know if you don't want to, give yourself some self-care. Light a candle for your mama. Have a conversation. Share some things. Take a walk. Have some coffee. Do whatever it is that you do. But take care of you on this weekend. If that happens to be your situation as well. Scoop is sending you love. Also want to reiterate, Elegance by Design is back. So you guys can go to the website, order up some things. Again, that Sexy Shea Butter is saving lives and legs all over the world. Craig. So go on and get you some. Sexy Shea Butter, elegancebydesign.com. The Luscious Lemon Cake and Unscented are hot off the presses, y'all. I can't make it fast enough. And yes, the Tingle Toes. Yes, the Tingle Toes. It's coming. We getting into sandal season, so go ahead and step it on out and make sure your feet are right. I have customers who take Tingle Toes to the nail salon when they get the pedicures, and like they just know that it's coming. Yeah, so go and throw that in the bag too. Throw it in the bag. Okay, so yeah, Elegance by Design with a Z.com, and go ahead and get your goodies. See y'all next week.
Cool. Of course, y'all know buy the book. So get y'all my pre-ordering for my first relationship book, Surviving Relationship Storms, teaching you how to survive and thrive through the inevitable storms of relationships. So y'all get that. Get that. Yeah, I'm with you. Get you some. I got so much Elegance by Design in this house. It's ridiculous. I got everything. And I'm about to order some more. Because I'm running
trying to
low.
be a household name out here in these streets.
I'm running, and it's getting summertime too, so I got to switch my fragrance up for the summertime because you got to have a different fragrance. I teach y'all about that later, big fella. I teach you about that. Mm-hmm. So yeah, can't be walking around smelling the same in the summertime as you do in the winter.
Can't be smelling like winter in the summer.
She got to walk past you. When you walk past it, she got to be like.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm telling you, nothing like a good cologne, a good smell. Good with a T.
Other than that, y'all, if you're still looking to advertise, y'all advertise with us. We would love to help promote your business or your service. Get with me as soon as possible at globaldriveradio@gmail.com, and we will come up with the package that will be beneficial for your business, your product, or your service. Other than that, I don't have anything else. Thank you to everybody who joined in the virtual relationship forum last Friday. Y'all, we had a lot of fun. So thank you all, and be looking out for the next one. I think the next one I'm going to do one for singles only. So be looking out for that. We're going to do singles night. I don't know if I want to dip my toe in the dating thing again because y'all disappointed me the last time. I tried to do a dating, matchmaking thing, and folks was acting kind of funny. So I don't know, but I'm just going to do a singles night. We'll see what happens.
Let the people do what they do. You put them in the room and let them do what they do.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. So y'all, be on the lookout for that. And yeah, other than that, that's all I got tonight. A really good show as always, Q. I really appreciate you and your thoughts and your perspective and all that other good Q stuff that you bring. I appreciate it. Yeah, I appreciate you.
I do.
For what you do.
It's a joy. This is the highlight of my week for sure. Is sitting with y'all and having these conversations.
Yeah, because you want to listen, y'all. I'll be trying to be like, Q, why don't you take the week off? Nope, I'm good. Q,
I'll be there.
Nope, just send me the link. I'm good. All right. Surviving relationship storms, Mike. Thank you, Dion. We appreciate you. Yeah, and if you haven't shared it, make sure again you share the post about the show and the book too. Either one.
All of it.
All of it.
Share everything.
Share everything.
Find a link in the comments. Share that too. Just share it.
Share. You gonna share.
Everybody
gonna share. Oh. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good night.
I realize I'm always really, really happy when you play this song, and I'm like, this is not a good song. This isn't one you should be like bopping and doing. The beat is good though.
I just realized, I just realized this song is now 7 years old. I did not realize I recorded this song 7 years ago.
Doing it for us.
I'm like, I might need to sing something new.
I mean, maybe. I won't stop you from that.
I'm gonna sing something new. I didn't realize. I was like, this song was really 7 years old now. Wow. All right. Y'all have a good night.
You came and went a couple times. You just said goodbye a couple times. And this time, said goodbye and hello. You done got your Lionel Richie on a couple times, sister. This is why I don't take off right here. This is why.
I've been fired a couple of times.
Might be time for a new song. Maybe we manifesting the wrong things.
I gotta start singing hello, not goodbye.
Good night, boy. Just say it. Just a thought.
I'm sorry. All right, y'all. Good night.